Welcome back to 15 Lanes Talk Game Week 6 review show. We are going to talk about all the games that happened all over the weekend as we saw Manchester United being humbled and embarrassed by Brentford, Chelsea dropping points again to Brighton, Liverpool's perfect start this season being ended by Crystal Palace, Manchester City dominating Burnley as everyone hoped, and Arsenal coming back from 1-0 down to Newcastle at St. James's Park. Let's go. Brentford 3, Manchester United 1. Easy peasy lemon squeezy for Brentford. Yes, you heard me right. But our biggest talking point in this game week, one coming from Bryan Mbeumo, who won a penalty for Manchester United. You know, even in my preview show, I talked about Bryan Mbeumo. I told you he's one of those players since he joined Manchester United, he has not put a foot wrong. And in the game against Brentford, he won a penalty. But Bruno Fernandes went ahead to miss that penalty. People say what they want to say, but for me, my take, or in my opinion, that was a red card to a Brentford player. If the player was given a red card, anything would have happened. You understand? Against Chelsea, we saw how the red card changed that game in favor of Manchester United. Even if Bruno Fernandes missed that penalty, though the penalty took long to be taken, even if he missed it, but if Brentford, the right call was made and that was the last man. You will remember Saliba against Bournemouth last season, he made the same tackle and he was not even the last man and he was given a red card. But against Brentford, the guy was not given a red card on Bryan Mbeumo, even though the penalty was awarded. We know if the red card was given, maybe the game would have been very different. And another thing, talk about Manchester United and Brentford game is Bruno Fernandes. I don't know why Ruben Amorim keeps playing Bruno Fernandes in that pivot. We talked about it here in the preview. Bruno Fernandes, we have been talking about, he's not good in that pivot. He's just getting exposed every time. He's being forced to fit into the system. He can't play. Oh, he can play there, but they need to get for him another pattern. Ugarte is not good enough. And we said, are we going to see Kobe Mainoo playing in that position since Casemiro was given a red card against Chelsea, which meant he was going to miss this match? But Ruben Amorim said, no, I'm going to go with my 60 million flop in Emmanuel Ugarte. So Manchester United are still struggling, and Ruben Amorim has not won 2 back-to-back games in the Premier League since he joined Manchester United. And on the other hand, we saw Benjamin Sesko open his account of the Premier League for Manchester United with that beautiful strike. You understand? Yes, this is one of his best games he has played so far for Manchester United. He was looking lively. He was trying to make things happen until he got his first goal for Manchester United. About the goalkeeping situation, we said he signed Lamens from Belgium to come and join Manchester United, and he let go of Anana. And in our preview show, we said, are we going to see Lamens start this game? But Ruben Amorim said, no, I'm going to start with my Turkish guy in the goalposts again. And we saw the blunders the guy made. So why did you sign Ruben Amorim? Why did you sign a goalkeeper if you know you are not going to use him? Simple as that. If you know this Turkish guy is going to be your first goalkeeper, you would have let Onana stay. You understand? But you spent a lot of money on the goalkeeper and you don't want to use him. And we saw it on Brentford as you got punished again by the keeper making schoolboy mistakes. And Ruben Amorim made an interview and said, if they are winning games, no one talks about the system. But if they are losing games, that's when people talk about the system. But Ruben Amorim, yes, they talk about the system when you lose, because now they see the negativity. You know, if someone is winning, most people tend not to see the negative side of things. Even if in the process of winning there are some mistakes you can make, but people just let those mistakes slide. Yeah, they won't be petty. But if you are losing, even the smallest thing, people will be petty. The thing that you can see like, oh, let this one slide, they will be petty to the bone. And at this rate, the way Manchester United is playing, Ruben Amorim is calling for a sack. Yes, Ruben Amorim is calling for a sack, and you may see him leaving. And I made a video on my channel that Ruben Amorim will be the first coach to be sacked. We are still waiting in the Big Six. And right now, some news came out and they said Xavi may be the next Manchester United coach because he has been studying the Premier League, looking around, and maybe we may see Xavi becoming the new Manchester United coach. Chelsea 1, Brighton 3. Both teams went in this match hoping to bounce back to their winning ways. But Brighton came out tall as they got back to their winning ways. Chelsea now has only one win in the last 4 games. They have been losing back-to-back games in all competitions. You understand? So, their next match will be against Liverpool. And now the pressure is mounting on Enzo Maresca. You know, Enzo Maresca joined Chelsea, and last season he won Conference League and also Club World Cup. But right now the pressure is mounting. They have already lost 3 back-to-back matches in the major competitions around Europe. You understand? So we don't know. Maybe he may also be sacked if this continues, because next week they will be facing Liverpool, which is going to be another tough fixture. And right now we also have to start to ask about this disciplinary issue of Chelsea, because all the 2 games back-to-back Premier League games, what has costed them to lose are red cards. Against Manchester United, in 5 minutes, Robert Sanchez got a red card. Against Brighton, they were leading until Choloba got a red card, and we all know red cards can change games. That's why against Manchester United, we say if Brentford got a red card for that challenge on Brian Mbeumo, maybe something would have changed. Maybe Ruben Amorim would have got his first back-to-back wins in the Premier League for Manchester United. You understand? And when Welbeck came in against Chelsea, we saw he brought the energy he brought and he helped Brighton to bounce back to their winning ways. He was very energetic. He was doing everything right, and he even got on the score sheet. He was just like a dangerous substitute. But right now, Enzo Maresca is on a sack watch. Anytime from now, we may see Enzo Maresca leaving. You understand? Because if he loses against Liverpool, because Liverpool, we saw it lost to Crystal Palace. So they are going to face Chelsea in a game where they also need to bounce back to their winning ways. Yes. Manchester City 5, Burnley 1. Haaland with a brace in extra time. You understand? He's now the top scorer of the Premier League with 6 goals in 6 games. He has reintroduced himself. He's telling the whole Premier League what he's all about this season. Man like Haaland. You understand? In our preview show, we talked about like the way Manchester City has been dominating this fixture of Burnley. So there is no questions. The only question where how many goals are they going to score? How many goals will Haaland score? And also in this game, we saw a Steven scoring 2 own goals, just gifting Manchester City 2 own goals for no reason. You understand? So in this game also, we saw Jeremy Doku being a danger man for Manchester City. By the way, this season, Jeremy Doku has been one of the best Manchester City players, pulling strings everywhere, causing damage where it's needed. You understand? He has been there. Is he going to keep the momentum and consistency going? Only time will tell about that. Scott Parker may be on the sack watch with Burnley. Crystal Palace 2, Liverpool 1. Liverpool finally had a chance to test on their own medicine with Edin Ketia, 90+7 winner for Crystal Palace. Remember, both teams were unbeaten when they went into this game. Right now, Crystal Palace is the only unbeaten team in the English Premier League. Here are some of the talking points. Crystal Palace dominated that halftime very well, and Liverpool needed Alisson to be at his best, whereby he made a lot of heroic saves. You understand? This season, both Liverpool and Manchester City have been there for the taking. The only team that did not take the advantage between Manchester City and Liverpool is Arsenal. You understand? Because Liverpool haven't played any good football this season apart from only getting God-given chances and winning games. On the other hand, Manchester City also has already lost 2 games this season when they played against Arsenal. Arsenal came with a handbrake mindset. You understand? So they also dropped points there. Liverpool have already conceded 8 goals, and most of these games, like in 4 games, they have been conceding 2 goals. You understand? And Crystal Palace was the final nail in the coffin, ending their perfect start to the season of 5 wins out of 5, making 15 points. And we saw also the VAR decision going in favor of Crystal Palace. In the favor of Liverpool, whereby Salah, that was a handball. That was a clear handball, but VAR, since they want to be in the news, since they want to be the talking point week in, week out, they gave out a goal. We also like Salah's fingertips change direction of that ball, because Richard had anticipated where the ball was going to drop, and he had to adjust his body when Salah's fingertips tapped that ball, and thus the chance of Chaser scoring an equalizer. But Edin Ketia said, hold that, I'll just kill off the game, and in the 90+7, Edin Ketia did what he does best. See, Liverpool on the other hand also, we saw them, they spent a lot of money in the summer, which made them like they had the perfect transfer. But right now, we see it may start to backfire. Cause Froland Wirtz, 7 games, 0 assists, 0 goals. You understand? He has not found his foot in any game that he has played so far for Liverpool. His best game came in Community Shield, where he tried to pull some strings, but it was like a 7 rating that game. But since the Premier League started, the guy has not put any foot right. And if we go this other side of Frimpong, he has also been being bullied by players. He's not doing anything, you understand? And Frimpong in Bayer Leverkusen, he was playing in the 3-4-3 system with Jabi Alonso, which means he was more of attacking and he never had to do a lot of defending. And right now, he's being bullied because he has to do a lot of defending and attack at the same time. You understand? And Isak also, since he was out and never had a good preseason, because he was striker at Newcastle, the 3 to 4 games he has played so far for Liverpool, he has not been looking that good. But I think after the international break, yeah, he will be back to the Isak we all know. You understand? We saw also on the defensive side, we saw Liverpool struggle a lot in defense. And against Crystal Palace, we saw Ryan Gravenberch playing in the centre back. That's where the Liverpool problem also comes. This season, we have also seen Bosla playing at right back, which means Arne Slot and Liverpool are praying the January transfer windows to come very early so they can solve that problem, or they may sacrifice and they wait until summer. You know, in the summer transfers, they wanted Mark Gehi, whose deal never went through on deadline day. So right now, we have seen them, they are struggling a lot with that defensive side. That's why they are conceding a lot of goals. I think Arne Slot's tactic this season is to outscore teams, like Johan Cruyff said. At least he enjoys. It's better for him to lose 5-3 or 4-3 or to win 4-3 than sitting back. Right now, we are seeing Liverpool and Arne Slot, they are being caught up. You understand? But Crystal Palace came out on top, and right now, Crystal Palace is the only unbeaten team in the Premier League. Arsenal 2, Newcastle 1. We all know Arsenal has been struggling a lot to get a win against Newcastle at the St. James's Park. and they went in this fixture to close the gap on Liverpool, who had already dropped points against Crystal Palace, and also to get back to their winning ways, because in game week 5 they made a draw against Manchester City, so they needed this game a lot, and they already had a very hard start. Some of the talking points I would like to highlight is the squad. Arteta's squad. This is the first time I saw Arteta picked a perfect squad to start in the Premier League. You understand? The double pivot of Rice and putting Eze in the 10 role, whereby Odegaard was coming back from injury and he started on the bench. For me, I would like to see that's the system Arsenal has to use, 4-5-1, with the two pivot of Declan Rice and Zubimendi, and Eze being up front. Odegaard may just come in. Yes. And also we saw Arsenal set pieces rescuing Arsenal again, because both of the goals Arsenal scored came from set pieces. Newcastle had become a hard nut to crack, and also Nick Pope was very good in this game. In the halftime, he made a lot of, he was going toe-to-toe with Eberechi Eze, whereby he saved a lot of strikes from Eberechi Eze, keeping Newcastle in the game until when Nick van der Mulder scored that goal for Newcastle, making heading into the first half with a 1-0 lead. You understand? The defense of Mascara, Big Gabi also yesterday crumbled in the halftime, and Mikel Arteta had to call for changes right away, whereby he brought in William Saliba to bring stability in the defense. Though William Saliba was also was just coming back from injury, that's why he started on the bench. So Mascara had to step up, but yesterday he had a disastrous day at the office. He's the one who brought that corner that led to the goal of Newcastle. Yesterday, all the goals came in from corners, and VAR at it again. You understand? They denied Victor Gyökeres his penalty, saying that Nicky popped up the ball. But last season, if you dive into back last season, they were playing Brighton. Saliba cleared away the ball, and his head met with the one of João Pedro, and they gave a pen to Brighton. The game ended in a draw. You understand? Arsenal dropped points, whereby Liverpool had to extend their lead on the top, because it's the same thing yesterday. Yes, Nick Pope touched the ball, but that had to be a pen. Same Premier League and PGM or drama. You understand? Because they always contradict every day. Next week you will see the same thing happen, and they will be giving out a penalty. You understand? This win was also very important for Arsenal to close the gap on Liverpool, because if Liverpool had already dropped points, the pressure is there, and they had to see like they have to close the gap. And the substitution yesterday, Mikel Arteta made some cool substitution, whereby he took off Saka and brought in Martinelli. Even though Arsenal needed a win, he had to take off Saka because Saka had just come back from injury, so it was a good call. The previous Arteta, though the guy had just come back from injury, and keep him on the pitch forever, you understand, to damage him. But yesterday, even if Arsenal they were looking for a goal, he decided to make that big call just for Saka's health, which is a positive to me. I see it as a positive for Saka's health. He said, just come out, even if we win or we lose, it's in God's plan right now, but your health first, you understand? So he made a bold move to take off Saka and bring in Martinelli.